What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of How You Do That podcast. On today's episode, we've got the one, we've got the only.
Mitt Man Joe.
That's right, Mitt Man Joe. So I know there's a lot of folks out there that are real active in the combat community. For those who are watching this that may be new to it, let everybody know who you are, what it is you do.
Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm Mitt Man Joe. I'm the striking coach at House of Jiu-Jitsu here in Southtown, downtown San Antonio. So yeah, man, I work with a bunch of fighters from all over. Just help build, perfect their craft, and you know, just trying to kill the game.
Okay, yeah. So you're a Mitt Man and a cut man as well, correct?
I'm a Mitt Man, I'm a cut man, and yeah, I try to learn it all.
What's that thing called that you see in fights when a fighter gets cut and they have to get it real cold and put it
The inswell.
Inswell, okay.
Inswell. So yeah, usually when you know there's some swelling on top of the fighter's eye or on the cheekbone, you know, you kind of rub it just a little bit, nothing too crazy, you know. And it's real cold. It kind of keeps the swelling down, you know.
Oh, and it keeps it from, I guess, popping open also, right?
Definitely,
Yeah,
it could definitely pop open, man.
Yeah.
And some guys, you know, it gets so big that sometimes they can't even see. You know, their eye just like shuts closed.
So
yeah,
helps give them their bring back their visuals.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously in combat that's important, right?
Yeah, definitely, very important.
If they do bust open, do you stitch them up on the spot, or what's the process with that?
My job is just, you know, to stop the bleeding. You know, it's a minute in between rounds, but realistically, by the time I get from my chair inside the cage, probably about 5 to 10 seconds have passed. So it's really about 50 seconds. So no matter the size of the cut, no matter how deep it is, I got to make sure that I get the fighter into the next round. So I got to do everything I can to stop.
Wow, yeah.
Yeah. I came up with some top-notch stuff, man. So it's definitely helped me this far. Definitely has stopped some pretty bad cuts. And I'm just glad that I'm able to get the fighter to the 3rd or 5th round.
Okay. What's some like your go-to methodology?
As far as stopping the...
Yeah, preventing like the bleeding and stopping the bleeding. And
I just use Vaseline.
Okay.
That's it.
All right, Vaseline. Yeah.
We'll keep it like that.
Okay. Yeah. So now, who is your inspiration? Who got you into the line of?
So a lot of my respect, I have a tremendous respect for Aaron Navarro from Houston. He has a lot of top-notch boxers that train under him. He's out of Maine Boxing Gym, but he's also a cut man. He's helped me significantly, like as far as learning from him, as far as he's just my mentor. Like I would drive to Houston just to see him work, to see him wrap hands, to see him just work with his fighters, just the relationship that he has with his fighters.
Okay.
And that right there, I soaked in as much as I could of that. And it just helped me revolve around as into the person I am today, the trainer, cut man, Mitt Man, whatever it is you want to call me. And then another one is Vic Starita. He lives in Las Vegas, Nevada. He is the cut man for bare knuckle boxing.
Oh wow, that's pretty.
He's made it to the Hall of Fame for bare knuckle boxing. One of the best out there. So he's definitely taught me a lot. Every time that I go to Vegas to visit him, he's never selfish, man, with the knowledge he has, you know. So when you meet guys like that are not selfish, it puts a different a view in a person that just wants to learn, you know, about the whole sport, you know. So it's pretty dope, man, just to know these people. Pretty dope.
For sure. It looks like they're getting ready to have a class behind us. So I guess, folks, hang in there. We're going to transition downstairs. All right. All right. What's going on, folks? We're back. So you just had a big fight that you just came back from December 3rd. How'd that go?
Oh, man, it was pretty good, man. It was Fury FC 84 in Houston, Texas. It was the last card of the year, man. It was a banger, bro. It was a really dope card. All the fights on there were really good. The two heavyweights that fought, one of them got signed to the UFC right after the win. So he got a knockout on that guy, Miles Banks.
Okay.
So he knocked Miles Banks out, and then he got like 10 minutes after, man, the UFC called Eric, and boom, they said, "Hey, we want him." So that's actually the first time that's ever happened.
No way.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's clean.
So it was actually a pretty clean card, man. Not too many cuts. Here, you know, little nosebleeds, maybe a couple cuts here and there, but nothing crazy, you know. So I like those type of fights, and especially that it was the last card of the year. I like because I pretty much got to be a fan, kind of, you know, and kind of just enjoy it cage side, you know. So it was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Now you're a cut man and a mitt man. Are you in a different state of mind whenever you're in a fight or helping a fighter in a fight as a cut man versus as a mitt man in their corner?
Definitely. So if I'm helping a fighter get ready for Fury card, you know, I'm not the day that the fighter fights. I'm not a coach. I'm a cut man. You know, so that's something that we have an understanding before camp starts. That whenever we go and fight, that I'm a cut man because I gotta be just as I'm responsible for my fighter making it to the last round.
Right.
I gotta be responsible for the other fighter. You just never know what could happen in a fight. A fight could be over like in the first 10 seconds, the first 5 seconds. And if my fighter knocks the other fighter out, I got to make sure that I keep my emotions in and I got to go and I got to help the other fighter. You know, that's the way it is, you know, when you're a cut man. You got to make sure that both fighters are taken care of always.
Man, that seems like you have to have a specific mindset and a certain type of heart in order to do what you do proficiently. So, you know, my hats off to you. I've had the honor and privilege of watching you train with a couple fighters so far for these past few days, and I've noticed that there's a tremendous bond, you know, that's right there.
Pretty cool. Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's pretty. I have a good relationship with my fighters, man. We both have the understanding that as soon as we could deal with whatever we deal with out in the real world. I call it the real world, right? Because
Right.
if you want to be a fighter inside of the gym, man, we're different. We're a different breed. So in the real world, man, if whatever issues you're going through, depression, anxiety, family issues, whatever it is, right? It's pretty dope because we have the understanding that before we walk through that door, we got to come inside clear-minded. So whatever problems we're going through, we got to leave that at the door, right? We come in clear-minded and we work and we just try to be better as humans, try to be better fighters. You want to. A lot of people sometimes they struggle in the mornings when they look at themselves in the mirror. They're like, man, they're not too happy, right?
Right.
So that's the best part is coming and giving it your all and waking up and just like, oh man, I feel good. You know, I went to the gym last night, I kicked ass and I feel great about myself, you know? So when the people I work with tell me that they feel like that, it makes me love my job that much more, you know? So it's pretty cool, man. We have a good connection. All of us do. We all do.
Man, that's awesome. Yeah. And I feel like that's big. That's an important ingredient in winning overall, right?
Exactly.
I noticed the belts up there.
Yeah, the Tapper Scrap, and that's the Texas Clash one. I think the Tapper Scrap is Louis. He's a fighter here at HOJ, and that's the Tapper Scrap is Jacob Landon. He's actually the owner of HOJ.
Okay, cool. So those are two belts won by
Texas Clash, right? Yeah, that's Texas Clash one. Yeah. Yeah, that's his belt right there. Yeah.
That's quite of House of Jiu-Jitsu and one of your home gyms that you help train out of, right?
Yeah. Well, this is my home gym.
Right. Yeah. Your home gym that you help train out of. Yeah.
This is it for me right here, man. This is my last stop right here in the fight world. You know, HOJ is my last stop, man. And from here, I plan to be here I'm 40 years old. Plan to be here for the next 10 years, 20 years. 30, whatever it is, right? But man, this is my last stop, man, and so this is home right here for me.
Man, that's awesome. And I mean, from the small amount of time I've been here, it looks like you picked an excellent establishment. You know, you got 2 stories, you got strength and conditioning, you've got Muay Thai, you've got gi and no gi, BJJ, you've got striking, you have Mittman, like the best in the business, like you right there. You got Cutman, you right there. You've got all these different avenues where if you want to come and either A, get in shape, or B, come and compete at an elite level, this feels like this is the place to do it.
This is the hot spot.
Right.
In San Antonio, it's going to be the hot spot in Texas. You know, whenever I have that vision and that hunger, there's nothing that can stop me, and there's nothing that can stop this team. And we're definitely gonna put a dent inside the MMA world, inside the fitness world, whatever it is. We're gonna take over, and that's just the way it is. And whoever else, if you're either gonna get on board with us or you're not, or we're gonna leave you behind. Simple as that. You know, that's just the way it is.
So either run with y'all or get run over, right?
Exactly. Simple as that.
What's the backstory? What's the origin story with the relationship with you and House of Jiu-Jitsu?
So Jacob Landon is the owner of the gym. I used to train with him at Unit at USA Ultimate Submission Academy right here on the south side. Well, south like military, the Roosevelt area. I used to work with him, and I was his striking coach. And he's fought for Bellator. He's fought for PBC boxing. You know, he's done what he's had to do in the fight world, right? A lot of people won't even reach Bellator. A lot of people will never even reach the UFC or PBC boxing, right? And for him to have that as his story in the fight world, that's pretty amazing. After that, man, he retired and he just had a vision and to open a gym, and he actually picked the perfect spot in San Antonio to open a gym downtown. Everything is like 10, 15 minutes away. So we've been pretty cool, man, for a while. Definitely when I became a cut man for Fury, I kind of drifted away from the whole coaching. So I kind of focused more on being a cut man, trying to perfect that. And there was a while that I mean, we were cool with each other, but we hadn't talked in a while, you know. And then I started seeing him more at the Fury shows. And one day after a Fury show in San Antonio at the Boeing Center, he stops me and he's like, "Hey, man, what are you? You're here in San Antonio now?" And I go, "Yeah, for sure," because I was living in Austin at one point. And I moved back to San Antonio, and he was like, "Come by the gym, man. I want to talk to you." So I came by the gym, and I kind of knew what it was about, right? But my mentality at the moment was, I don't know if I want to get back into being a full-time coach, right? Just because the whole cut, man, it's about balancing, right? And Fury comes first, and we sat down, man. We talked, and his vision was just like we met halfway, you know. And I could see the hunger in him, and I was like, man, let's do it. And probably the best decision I've made as a coach, you know, to be here. And like I said, it's my last stop, you know, and I don't plan on going anywhere else. And it's all business here. You know, our mindset is just to fucking conquer, you know, and do what we got to do, you know. So that's just the way it is.
It seems like the right mindset to have.
Yeah.
You know,
Sure.
For those of you all listening and watching, we've got a documentary. And in that documentary, we're going to talk about how he came to be with Fury, get more in detail on what it's like to be a cut man and the in and outs of House of Jiu-Jitsu and all sorts of things, everything that he's, so what we want to do with this podcast is kind of give you all a brief overview, you know, give you all an insight on Mitt Man Joe, who he is and everything like that. If they're looking to find you on social media, where can they find you on social media?
Facebook is under Joe Eric Pareda. Instagram, Mitt Man Joe. Mittman _ Joe. Sorry about that. TikTok, Mittman _ Joe. Threads, Mittman _ Joe. What else? Oh, that's pretty much it. So,
all right, cool. Yeah, folks. Well, you heard it here first. Mittman _ Joe, Square Sauce Media. How you do that podcast? Y'all don't forget to follow us on Instagram, TikTok, all that good stuff. Until next time, stay blessed, lose the stress. God bless. I'm Seth. I'm out. All right. Cool. There you go. Yeah.